I self-identify more with as a nuts and bolts kind of person. I love the minutia, I love the detail, I love somebody having an idea or a problem and being able to really get into the weeds and figure out how to solve it or how to make it happen. I've built my career on that. I've built my career on working with owners and CEOs and really helping them bring their ideas to fruition. So, but each of those involves build-outs and lease negotiations and things like that. Here I'm discovering this, I'm like, boy, I'm really good at this. I love this multi-tiered, complex project management kind of stuff and the types of people that I'm working with, right?
Notice Sarah was not an architect or an engineer.
No.
Totally no educational background into the field she was getting into, but she took advantage of all the circumstances of the building.
I'd also had other personal things going on in my life. I had met my husband, my current husband, and wanted to have a child, and I just knew that, I was working 11, 12 hours a day, no kidding, and I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to have a family like I wanted to, working those hours. So just this perfect, just looking ahead, knowing what I wanted, seeing what was kind of going on in the workplace, I just knew that I needed to restructure things a little bit in my role. And so we decided that I was going to leave and I was going to hang out a shingle. I said, well, why not? And because when I hung out my shingle, folks came to me and said, hey, I want you to help me with my project. I want you to help me do this. I want you to help me reorganize my company. But basically, I said I could operations consulting, business plans. I would help folks write business plans, construction management, really trying to draw on my experience of doing all those build-outs. Financial management, doing performance for companies that were wanted to open, and oftentimes when you apply for financing, you need to have 3 years of projections, 5 years of projections, depending on the type of loan. Helping companies do those, and recruiting, drawing on that human resources background. That's a lot of stuff. I felt like I was the Jill of all trades, right? And that ultimately took its toll. The positives of Steel Management Group throughout this time is that I had a full pipeline of projects, right? I never wanted for work. I was turning away work, actually.
Were you working for mostly corporations or mostly
small
individuals?
Business. Small businesses. In the
only in DC,
DC and Virginia. I occasionally took work in Maryland, but I live in Virginia, I live in Falls Church, and so Arlington and that area, just for folks that I had met networking and things like that. But primarily DC, because I had lived in DC for 20 years and had worked in DC for that time, and so that's where all my connections were. Owning your own business also has its drawbacks, and it's stuff that I never even thought of. Time management. Working for someone, you have someone right here telling you and guiding you, and you're collaborating, and you've got your own, you've got deadlines and things like that. But when you're out there working on your own in your own home, because I work out of my own home office, it's challenging no matter how well organized and how on the ball you think that you are, okay? It's challenging. Loneliness. I'm a collaborator. I love to work with people. I love to get their input. I love to give my feedback. I love to kind of make all the different, inputs meld together and have an outcome, right? And working on my own, and me being the driving force behind my business was a lonely kind of thing. And I wasn't expecting that. And the motivation, really, when one project ends, I go, oh my goodness, okay, I need to step up that, what direction do I want to get into? How do I want to drive this? Because I'm the one that has to be the driver behind things, and it has to be a purposeful thing. And it wasn't a planned, I'm going to sit down with my marketing plan for the next 6 months, and it just wasn't the way that I had driven my business up to that point. And the overwhelm. Just every decision that needs to be made, not only for my clients, but for my own business, gets to be overwhelming. The simplest things, like do I want to stay with this hosting company, or do I want to change hosting companies, or do I want this social media package, or do I want to do my own social media? Every little decision that needs to be made has to come from you, right? Unless you opt to outsource and more kind of thing. But Facebook now is awesome for business because it allows you to micro target your audience, right? If you have a Facebook page for your business and you want to advertise, or if you want to just boost posts, if you do a post and you want to send it out. Now, what's different now than it used to be is you have to pay for that kind of stuff, but it's actually not very costly at all. And you can target, the demographics of your audience that you want to hit and the geographic area down to, zip codes. Which is really helpful. You're not spending money, because so many times, I know that I get called all the time for like radio advertising and bus advertising, which is very costly and doesn't benefit me because we're going to talk about urban referrals next. Urban referrals only services a pretty small radius of geographic area, so I'm not going to pay for advertising that so broad. They want to tell me how many people I'm going to hit. Well, that's great, but I'm not going to be able to service 2/3 of those what have you. The cost, depending upon the industry that you're in, the cost per click for like Google advertising is cost prohibitive. For me, in the construction industry, because it's such a saturated market, it's $6 or $7 per click. I can't afford that. And so for me, Facebook actually is a much better option, and it's one that I actually employ. So one of the projects when I was at Steel, with first Steel Management Group was working for a girlfriend of mine. She and I were pregnant at the same time. Her son is a couple months younger than my daughter, and so I was coming off of maternity leave just as she was having her son and wanted to go into maternity leave. She owned a company called Urban Referrals. It's an online it's my own company. It's an online contractor referral business. So if you're a property owner, you need something done, repairs, you want to renovate, you want to remodel, what have you, and you don't know who to call, then you can send us your project. We have a network of contractors that we've vetted. They have to be licensed, properly insured, bonded if necessary, what have you, and we'll match you. And we, of course, know our contractors. We know them. We've met them face to face. I know all the different types of projects that are in their wheelhouse, and I'll match you with up to 3 contractors that are best fitted for your project, right? So we're a very boutique kind of approach. You all know how many different ways there are out there now, right, to kind of find a contractor, right? So anyway, she had started the company in 2002, and she asked me if I would basically run the company while she went on maternity leave, which was fine. I had knowing her and having her as a friend, I understood her business, and all it took was a little training on her CRM, and off I was running. Well, that kind of spurred after she got off of maternity leave, she says, "Why don't you buy the company?" I said, "Well, I just started a Steel Management Group a year ago. I don't want to buy the company." She had relocated from D.C. to Denver, and she was trying to run the company from afar. And as being an internet-based company, theoretically, you could do that. But she was finding that it wasn't going as well as she wanted to go. So I said, it's just not something I want to do. A year later, she came back to me, and she came back with a much more reasonable price for the company, and I had another year of experience in steel management under my belt, and it was just something I was more willing to consider. And so my husband and I powwowed about it, and ultimately we decided to buy it because I thought it might be a nice complement for the types of things that I was hoping to start to do with Steel Management Group. And then I decided that I want to rebrand Steel Management Group. I gotta tell you, having all of those different service offerings and having 3 clients over here where I'm writing business plans, and a client over here where I'm doing recruiting, and one over here I'm just doing financials, and I was a construction manager for a storefront improvement program that was funded by DHCD. I mean, I was all over the place, and it was exhausting me. And I said, you know what? I had to take a step back. And I said, what do I really want to do? What do I really love? And it came back to the construction management. And so that's what I opted to refocus on. That's what I rebranded. And so now we are focusing only on construction management, facilities management, and permanent expedite. Honestly, I look for skill sets. I don't even look for necessarily exact. It's helpful, and it's a plus if you have exact experience, right? But I look far more for, believe it or not, common sense. And common sense, I want someone that's logical. I want somebody that can think through things and problem solve. I want someone that has a good work ethic, because for me, I can train you to do anything, or I can, you can work alongside me for a couple of weeks, and whatever it is that I'm going to do, I'm going to be able to help you with that part of it, but I can't get you to understand and think through how to make it to an appointment on time. I just can't do that, right? Or I have to have that level of trust that if I want to send you down to DCRO and run through a permit, that you're going to be able to problem solve if somebody says no to you.